In deconstructing the 3 pasukim, we have here a statement to the effect that Moshe states, Atem nitzavim hayom kulchem, that all of you are now assembled lifnei Hashem Elokechem, and the purpose for this assembly is la'avrecha bebrit Hashem Elokecha, to reconfirm with you a covenantal arrangement between yourselves, the generation about to enter Eretz Canaan, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We have a list of participants in this Brit from the top, Roshechem Shiftechem, in other words, the leadership, down to Kol Ish Yisrael, which could be read, as is done throughout much of the Torah, as a generic term, with the Brit being made between God and each head of household. With this reading, though, the inclusion of Tapchem and Neshechem, the women and the children, becomes unnecessary. In fact, one can eliminate the entire Pasuk 10. The fact that Pasuk 10 has been included forces us to interpret Ish in a narrow context, referring specifically to the males. And for this reason, Pasuk 10 continues and includes both the women, the children, and also those not born into the Jewish nation as Jews, the Gerim. In doing so, the Pasuk informs us that a covenantal arrangement was made between God and each individual, not as a member of a larger group, but a one-on-one agreement. The statement of Michotev Eitzecha and the Shoev Mimecha, who have also been singled out to be included in the Kulchem, will then pose for us a number of problems. Water carriers and woodchoppers, in an age without mechanical transportation or tools, would have to have been back-breaking work, akin to the modern version of a coal miner of the 1800s. The text would be informing us that even these people stand before God and are equal partners, along with the rest of the nation, in the covenantal treaty between man and God. It is forced in that there is no reason for such people, at the lower end of the economic scale, to have been excluded from this covenant, to the point that the Torah must include them in the Kulchem Brit. More problematic, however, is the grammatical issue. Even if we were to find a need to include the Chotei Veitzecha and the Shoev Mimecha, then the wording should have been V'gercha asher b'kerev machanecha ad Chotei Veitzecha v'Shoev Mimecha. By placing a mem before the phrase, we seem to have a range from bottom to top or from top to bottom. Given the fact that the Chotei Veitzecha and the Shoev Mimecha are both job options that the parent would not want for their child, that mem indicating the range is somewhat problematic. From the 3 translations, the Hirsch takes a literal option that appears to ignore both the contextual and the grammatical problems with the text. Kaplan, on the other hand, does take liberties with his translation, and while not responding to the contextual problem in terms of the need, does appear to address the grammatical issues raised with the prefix mem to Michotev Eitzecha, when he writes that even your woodcutters and your water carriers are to be included in this Brit. Quite fascinating, though, is the offering of the Gutnik Chumash that appears to reflect Rashi's take on this pasuk. What he seems to have done is to link the Michotev Eitzecha ad Shoev Mimecha to the earlier statement of V'gerecha asher b'kerev machanecha, and the subject for the entire phrase is V'gerecha. With this phrase, Moshe has something specific in mind in terms of the ethnic makeup of the population at the time. The normal ger would have been included in Kol Ish Yisrael, a concept established in the previous Chumashim, and therefore would not require a special statement of inclusion. This ger, though, was a special category convert who were assigned positions ranging from your woodcutters to water carriers. The identity of this special category ger will be discussed as we study the Rashi. On account of their special status, one might have thought that they are not included in the covenantal agreement, to which the Torah informs us that they are, along with everybody else, part of the Kulchem. As such, the statement Michotev Eitzecha ad Shoev Mimecha defines the ger asher b'kerev machanecha of this pasuk. In this way, Rashi remains true to his pshuta shel mikra approach to the text, and in doing so responds to the 2 difficulties: the contextual along with the grammatical problems that the Michotev Eitzecha ad Shoev Mimecha raises.